If you are in English, humanities, social sciences, Canada and world studies, you are going to contact Steve Oliver first. And if you are math, science, business, co-op, you are going to contact me first. Co-op individuals, there are 4 teachers who are teaching co-op that would have received notification that you will not be based out of Robert Bateman Community Center and the Gary Allen Learning Center. You will be based out of Nelson, and those 4 classrooms will come to you soon through myself and or Mark Rouleau. Turning it over to Steve.
Thanks, Kate. Hi, everybody. I think we'll give it another minute or so as folks kind of roll in here. We recognize that the meeting is scheduled at the exact same time that Team Canada is scheduled to play. So we will try to move things along. There we go. Kate's got the shirt on. I'm wearing something different. So I'll start in about 30 seconds, and we are recording this. So if you do have to pop out or if you're not here, this video will be posted inside the Brightspace staff room for everybody. So starting it up in about 30 seconds, okay? Okay, let's get started here. The handbook is, like I said, inside of Brightspace. We are still tweaking it a little bit, so there may be some things that either aren't working or the links that, I think most of the links are pretty good, but we'll walk through it. If you've taught summer school before, at least in the last year, most things are the same. If you're new to us, I'm pretty sure you'll get the hang of it as we go along. So the most important part really to start is who you contact when there's trouble. The list is here. The Gary Allen office, summerschool@hdsb.ca. That's the best way to get a hold of someone at the office if you've got questions about registration or prerequisites or that kind of thing with kids. You can email them. Usually for all of these folks, emailing is probably the fastest. Certainly for Kate and I, these phone numbers are really only for an emergency if you need us for something. We spend most of our time responding to questions with email. We got close to 9,000 kids this summer, so phone calls just aren't as efficient as working the email. Okay, we've got a co-op supervisor this year, and Mark Rouleau, and then Laura McKay is the e-learning person. If you've got technical questions, Brightspace questions, this doesn't work, that doesn't work, I can't see this, how do you do that? You can either email Laura directly, or you can put in a ticket on the MyHDSB site, and Laura will be responding to all of the technical tickets for Brightspace. So make sure you do that. She's a full-time employee of summer school, so she'll be on top of things, all right? I'm not going to read out the calendar. It's here. It's a weird start time. As you've probably seen, we start on Monday the 29th. We go for 2 days, and then we get Canada Day off, and then we're back at it. So things don't line up quite normally like they would have with a week, but you can see the calendar there. The one thing of note is we do send home progress report on July 8th. It's the same kind of progress report you'd send home like a 5th week if the kid's below 60, or if their credit's in danger, you'd send that home, okay? And then the rest of the schedule is there. We do run a travel credit. The hours of operation, if you're an in-class person, and again, Kate talked about that at the beginning, we do have 2 administrators on site. Garth Webb is Andreas Rem, and Elsie McGill is Todd Hotchkiss. Those are the hours for them. E-learning, there's no real set hours other than those are the hours of summer school. So you'd expect it to be working e-learning from 8:30 to 2. You have to be live online for your office hours at those times. This is the one real change from past years. Everybody is having the same office hours this year. So we all know when everyone should be online. So if you can just please pay attention to that. There's the email addresses for the guys, some schedules for in-person. You can go through that if you're an in-person person. Assessment and evaluation processes. The big thing that happens in summer school, as you might know, is certainly academic dishonesty is a challenge, especially in the world of AI. So please recognize that we don't have a board recognized AI detector. All you English teachers, I'm sorry, but we don't. So you'll just have to be careful about how we address academic dishonesty. If you are going to pursue this process, please reach out to one of the administrators and let them know. If you read the procedure, it's the same as the one we use in day school, okay? We're also using Gradebook for marks, not Markbook. There was a workshop last night given by, I think it was yesterday, by Tanya and Laura. I think there was 40 or 50 folks attending. Please note, Halton teachers, this will be the standard for September, is that we're all using Gradebook for all of our classes. So you're getting ahead of it here a little bit, okay? Attendance is the same as it's done in the past. There is a link there to remind you of how summer school attendance works. It is not the same as day school attendance. It's different. And if you go in there, it'll explain how it's different. You could still do day school attendance, but don't, because that won't be recorded correctly. And this is where all of our funding comes from and how we all get paid. So please make sure that you track the attendance as laid out here. And if you've got questions about what that looks like, feel free to drop either Kate or I an email and we can explain. Absenteeism, this section is really for in-person classes. So you can read through that process, work through attendance with your site administrator at Elsie McGill and at Garth Webb around students that aren't attending. Okay, and they can help you with that process. Okay, we've talked about course outlines. You know about course types. There's only there's a few upgrade courses running, but the upgrade teachers can read all of that. Next part, dropping a course. Again, same as it's been in the past. There's a drop form. There's a link to the drop form, and the instructions of how to submit the drop form are on the drop form. Don't send me the drop form. They don't send you the drop form. The drop form is emailed to the Gary Allen office. If they do send you the drop form, you can send it to the Gary Allen office if you want. If you send it to me, I'll send it to the Gary Allen office. But please instruct them to drop the course. They have to fill out the drop form if they want the course dropped. If they don't, it won't be dropped, and you'll have to put a mark in. Okay? So please, if students are suggesting talking about dropping, make sure that they recognize that they have to fill out the form, or we will report on them. And for the senior kids, they likely won't like the mark they get if they thought they dropped. Eating in classrooms, field trips, that's all fairly standard. Final 30 evaluations, you can read through this stuff yourself. And this will be you'll be the last group of teachers that are doing a final 30 evaluation, because all of that is changing in September to something much different. So you are the last ones in the province to have to do a final 30. Fire drills don't apply to e-learning, but they do apply to in class. You will have fire drills. Your site person will give you all of that information. IEPs are an important part. We do still honor accommodations and IEPs in summer school, in person and online. You can access them through Aspen, just like you have. I've already confirmed that with the Spec Ed department, so you can get the IEPs. And make sure that you are familiar with them and you're trying to accommodate as best you can. If you're struggling with some of the accommodations, just reach out to your administrator and we'll help you walk through it. But a lot of the things will be tied to time extensions and that kind of thing. Recognizing with anything to do with time, that there is an end to summer school and there's an end to your contract. So do not promise kids that they can extend past the last day of classes, because they can't. Okay, Kate, how am I doing so far? All right, we're going to keep on plugging away here just on the book. We do have a process to send marks to universities. Some of your kids will be, this will be their 30th credit, or this will be their last credit to apply, and they will be hoping to make applications for September. So we do have a process to get that, and we do have a process to explain to you how to do mark reporting. If you're looking to get parent guardian emails, you can use ESAT. You can also use this instruction set here. I got it from Mr. Bigham, and this will export all parent guardian email phone number contacts for you from Aspen. So if you do want to get a handle on some of your parent communication, that's a quick way to get a whole class list out of there. Just follow the instructions on that. Okay. Mark reporting, similar. We do marks, we do comments, we do learning skills, all through Aspen, of course. And if there is a failure, we will walk you through that process. Smoking and vaping, don't care if they do it with e-learning, but they can't do it with day school. That's the normal type of thing. There are a list of supply teachers. You can book a supply. I believe you're entitled to 1 day in your contract. Is that right, Kate? I can't remember. I think it's 1 day. So take the day if you need it. There's supply teachers out there looking for work. There's some people that will work a lot of days for you if a bunch of you need time off. No mileage, it's only that. Payroll deductions. Okay, the schedule for payroll. Every year, we all want to know when we get paid. It's on that link. So that'll tell you where the summer school pay is coming. Usually they split it over a couple of paychecks for you. If you've got questions about summer school pay, the main office probably won't be able to help you, but those emails there for payroll can probably get that through to you. Okay. Your site people, if you're an in-person person, you will get information around photocopying and all that kind of thing. If you need textbooks, you'll have to work through that. You can borrow textbooks from your home school if they'll allow you, if you need them for in-person. You cannot borrow textbooks from the school that you're working out of. We are guests in that school. Okay, and then fire drill. So that's kind of the gist of the handbook. So most things that you're going to need are captured there. The last thing I want to just walk you through is the day one stuff. Most of this is for the online teachers, but some of it will be helpful. First thing you have to do as an e-learning teacher is you have to activate your course. Okay, so please remember to do that. And when you activate your course, as most of you know by now, that means the kids will be able to get in. If you don't activate your course, your 35 kids will all be emailing and calling the office at 8:30 on Monday, wondering why they can't see their class. So you can activate the course. You can activate it now. You can activate it on the weekend. They still won't be able to get in until Monday morning. So if you activate it now, they still can't get in and start doing work. Okay. Number two, edit your course. So lots of you are working in teams, in teaching teams. We do have large numbers of teams. I think we've got 46 sections of civics. We've got 16 4U Englishes. We've got large numbers, 21 sections of grade 11 English, lots of multiple sections of science. So some of you may be using shells from last year, and some of you may be using shells that you've just created and shared with one another. So please double check your content and make sure that all the links work. Make sure that things are open for the kids to see on the first day. Make sure all the dates are correct. The contact information is correct. So if you copied a course from a friend, you don't want your friend getting all of the emails. So make sure all that's done correctly. Pay particular attention to your news feed. Laura McKay was into some of the courses today and said some of the news feeds, they're either running the information backwards. So oldest is first and first is oldest, or it doesn't have the right dates. It doesn't, that kind of thing. So I think you know what I mean. Just go through that, use the student view if you need to, and just make sure that you're all ready to go. Communication is the most important thing for online teaching. Kids will be able to expect you to start replying to them at 8:30 as the start of your workday. So please try to be mindful of how quick these courses run and the quick turnaround. So if students do have a question, we'd like them to get a pretty timely answer if they need it, or they can come to your office hours. I just summarized some of the key dates for you here. You can probably just cut and paste that right into your first page. Certainly for the senior courses, the full disclosure dates are important for the kids dropping. So please try to remind them those are the dates where they can no longer drop anymore. And then some of the dates in here are for half credits and upgrades and that kind of thing. So you don't need to include all of those. This form, lots of you are already filling out that form. This form, what it does is it's asking you to tell us your name, your course code, give us the link to your Brightspace class, and give us the link to your office hours. So that way we can easily jump into your class and find you, and we can also jump into your office hours if we want to talk to you or ask or talk to a student or somebody, right? So everybody please fill that in, one per teacher. And that just helps us really just with our communication and navigating through the course better, okay? Also on the first day, if there's students that do not log in on the first day of classes, please email the students and the parents and remind them that class has started and that they need to be logging in regularly. They don't need to log in every day, but they need to log in regularly, and they need to keep up with the pace of the course, right? At some point after the first 4 or 5 days, it's going to be weird because Canada Day's in there, but probably by that sort of the second Monday, we will have a class cleanup process for kids who haven't logged in. And then we'll have a second class cleanup process for kids who maybe logged in once or twice but have stopped attending, right? Try to sort some of that out. But in the meantime, tell the kids if they're dropping, they have to fill out the form, okay? Helpful hints for what you should be putting in your class on your news page for the first day. Certainly your name and email contact information. Reminders about these things, you can read through what you need to do. That video there, if you want to put the Google Meet link right in your nav bar of your course, so it's handy for the kids, you can just do that quickly and that'll work there. Okay. Also ask the kids to send you IEPs. Remember, if the student is from out of Halton, the IEP won't show up in Aspen, so you won't know that they have an IEP. So just ask them if you've got an IEP to email you directly. Do not ask them to, publicly declare their IEP status, and then you can get a copy of the IEP from out of board students would have to supply it to you. Okay. And then please provide a course outline for the course, including the mark breakdown and all that kind of thing, so that the kids know exactly what's expected of them. Okay. And again, that's just another update there about drops. And then finally, I included at the bottom, Kate covered this at the start, the admin responsibilities. So in the past, Kate and I have split the responsibilities with me being online and Kate being in person. Now we're sharing those, as she indicated. So if you come to me with math problems, I will listen politely, and then I will tell you to go talk to Kate, because I don't know anything about math. Do I, Kate?
No, nor do I in English.
That's right, even though you speak it. So, and again, of course, Andreas is the main person at Garth Webb for all you in person, and Todd is the main person at LC McGill. Anything to add, Kate?
I try to keep our class Brightspace updated on a fairly regular basis with updates and looking ahead and countdowns to timelines, reminders, those kinds of things, anything timely. So if you could check our shared Brightspace on a regular basis, sort of at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, you're sure to stay in the loop in terms of all those things.
Yeah, and currently about 80% of you have been in, so that's good. I know we're all trying to wrap up day school as well, as are we. Okay. Any questions from anybody? Any score in the soccer game? Maybe they can't hear us, Kate.
No, I think they can. I think they can.
They just want to. You think they want to go? Don't they? Towards it.
Oh.
0-0. Thanks, Ildi. Okay. Okay. You don't need to do an attendance activity. No. There's guidance staff will get. They just sent us a package for you, Kyle. So that'll be sent out to you shortly. The office has that organized. We just got it about 20 minutes ago, I think. Okay. Yep, no worries. Yeah, the attendance activity is come and do your work. Okay. It's too quick to pile on more activities, so I hope that helps.
Tammy, do you have a question?
Yes, thank you. I was just wondering if I could obtain a tablet that I could bring home, because I don't think mine is working from a long time ago when I was with VSS, and I'm teaching math, so I just thought to show some of the solutions to my students. It would be helpful
You-
to have a
You
tablet.
can borrow, so you can contact Allison Coventry at the Gary Allen office, and you can borrow a laptop from her.
Oh, I meant like a tablet to do the solutions on to add to my laptop, that sort of thing.
I don't know if they have those, but start there, Tammy, with Allison Coventry at Gary Allen Learning Center to see if they have a tablet, and then they'll problem solve from there.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Andrew?
Andrew, you have a question?
Yeah, hi. Thanks for taking my question. Since students are allowed to take 2 summer school courses, one in person, one e-learning, is it possible for the e-learning teachers to get a copy of the email that students were sent about expectations on working on the course, being 1 day of summer school is equivalent to a week of normal classes, i.e. 5.5 hours, so that we have something to point to if they're, say, spending an hour a week on the course?
Yeah, I certainly, that's something that you could be posting on your Brightspace as well, like as a reminder to the students, taking the language of that. Did you not receive that email, or you did receive that email?
I think when students, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the students get an email about expectations. I believe I did not receive an email about expectations.
All right, Steve and I'll look for it. I know I got.
Yeah, it might be on the Q&A.
Yeah.
On the summer school website. I'm just looking now, but yeah, there is language somewhere though, Andrew, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Well, as always, you've got our emails, so please, Travis wants to know about. Yeah, the first day we're gonna ask you to do attendance just to activate people, but yeah, you gotta just try to keep up with it every couple of days, do attendance.
Yeah,
It's really tied to.
Yeah.
Sorry, okay.
From my perspective, having been in the Gary Allen office last year that was monitoring the online attendance, it was a real problem for them to monitor when people weren't doing it every day. It really should be done every day to every other day because it's too hard to catch up after the fact. And there were, as Steve said, this is how we all get paid. So it's important that it's done in a timely fashion.
Canada Day is a holiday, so you should be doing the exact opposite of e-learning on Canada Day.
Caitlin, you had a question about if there's a specific Brightspace shell that you should copy from, or do we develop it with our team? It would be great if you could work with the team of teachers teaching the same subject area. That's why we sent out emails to try to connect you. I already know that some teachers are reaching out to each other and copying from one shell, especially if people have taught that course in previous years. So let us know if you're having any trouble connecting with people that are also teaching the same course, and we'll try to help you out.
Yeah, it's fine if you mark them present the next day. It's not really live attendance like it is in day school.
Yeah.
Let me just get these other questions here. Yeah, the gradebook workshop's now on the news page of the class. Morgan, no, attendance is done differently. Just look in the handbook for how to log in and do the attendance. It's a different kind of thing. Okay. Yeah, the information on Sivcar shells is in the news page of the summer school staff room, and they've been ready to copy for about a week and a half or so, about a week anyway. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I don't know the answer to the co-op question, Kate. Maybe you can answer that one.
The attendance one for co-op?
Yeah.
Mark, do you remember what you did last year?
I believe it was done that same way where you have to go in. I was just looking through the handbook there where it
Yeah.
says to go in through Aspen and you have to put like an I each day.
Yeah. So you're still indicating the I. It might be out of date in terms of when you're indicating it, but based on your site visits, the in-class times, and connecting with kids over email, you should be able to indicate participation in the course. So it's not necessarily attendance in person, but it's ongoing participation in the course material. Hope that helps.
For co-op, don't we just assume they're there unless we find out otherwise through our visits?
That would be fair, Denise, if they're continuing to, we assume they're continuing to engage in the coursework, unless told otherwise, with all your tracking and monitoring.
Sorry, I have another question with regards to attendance. I was actually avidly looking at whether they logged in each day. And if they hadn't, if they did not engage in my course and did any of the assignments for that day or any of the things that needed to be done, I didn't mark them as there. Was that wrong?
Yes.
Oh, crap.
It's okay. The office does go through. Basically, here's the rule of thumb on the attendance, just to make it kind of like, we almost shouldn't call it attendance. It's almost like lesson completion kind of thing. Okay. So if a student has completed the whole course and they've done all the assignments and all the work, every day they should be marked present for every day. For all 20 boxes should be ticked. That makes sense. Okay. So it's not really specific day-to-day attendance.
Oh, okay.
That's
you.
okay. Yeah. Because then we get 100% funding for that kid because they finished the credit. Okay. Okay, they will, Andrea, they will send, there'll be in-person persons will be getting something sent, a startup email from the site administrators with what room you're in and that kind of thing.
Andre, I'm working on it as well, just to find out where you guys are.
Yes, the ministry changes are all starting in September. We are still what the kids would say old school assessment and evaluation practices for summer school, including careers does not have the new numeracy requirement. Tricia, that's a good question. Her question is whether we should open all the content. You will have kids that will binge this, and they'll only do it they'll only work on weekends, for example, because they're working. So you can open it as much as you want, really. I would say at least open 4 or 5 days in advance for sure, because some kids will really work ahead really quickly. I'm not sure, Tony, if you have access yet.
Yeah, just emphasizing Amy and Matthews from Gary Allen Learning Center's message in the chat. E-learning attendance, the I must be marked till the drop date to get funding till that date. So it's really important that your attendance goes right to the end of the course. The in-person day school attendance does not look the same as the online attendance. The day school attendance is just like your regular day-to-day attendance. It hasn't changed. So for those of us in person, it'll just look like it does in day school. Christina, sorry, just to come to your question, is it a full day supply or a half day supply if you only need 1 hour for a medical appointment? If the medical appointment, if you're teaching online and the medical appointment doesn't go up against your scheduled hours, or you're able to provide enough time on an individual basis that you might not be present for a single office hour and reschedule it to another time, that's fine. You wouldn't need supply. However, if you are in person, it's either full day or half day. And you are available to take a paid full day. Yes, Amanda, that would be great if your admin was CC'd on a movement in the office hour. And again, it should only be a one-off. If you're running into some kind of difficulty, you do need to connect with your your admin to have a bigger conversation.
There are lots of supply that we'll pick up today. So if you need a day, so make sure you take them because you're entitled to them. Okay. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Any other questions?
Okay,
Dylan
then.
Lewis, how are supply days taken? You need to make the arrangements using the available supply list to book those. Obviously, if once you have that done, then you need to notify your administrator that's attached to you, as well as the Gary Allen Learning Center, Allison Coventry, for that. Ross wants to know, does the July 24th drop date come with a time? I don't believe it does. Let me just. Do you think that there's a time for the drop date of July 24th?
No,
Yeah. I
because
mean,
I don't think it takes so long to process stuff, right?
yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. Also, that's I'd say a good. I mean, when a kid sends in a drop form, you're probably still going to see them on your class list for a couple of days because it does take the office a bit of time to process the drops, and usually we lose 10 to 15% of kids will drop, right? And if there's 9,000 kids, do the math. That's over 900 drops. So it does take a bit of time.
You did math really well there, Steve.
See, I can do 10% on math. Yes, you should. If kids have finished work and are handing it in, you should still be accepting it.
Are in-person teachers expected to follow the Tello course content? No, you're not. However, if you are teaching a multi-section course at the same site, you should be pretty darn consistent. And I really strongly encourage you to be consistent across. So for instance, if you're teaching the ENG 2D in person at Elsie and somebody else is teaching it at Garth, it would be in all of our best interest if we were somewhat consistent as it relates to the evaluations, the assessment and the evaluation. The way in which you approach it, of course, is going to be somewhat uniquely personal in terms of your teaching style and the people sitting in front of you in those chairs. So not identical.
I answered the 4 o'clock one there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Amazing. Given we release feedback and answers for some things to students, are we not allowed a hard cutoff for some assessments or late penalties? You can, again, it would be a conversation about what we're talking about, the impact on the student. There are all kinds of reasons why a kid might not get something in, and is it going to negatively impact them in a way that it shouldn't? Are you still able to provide them a leveled grade as it relates to your observations, conversations, and products? So if you're running into situations where you're uncertain, Gabriel, of how to assign a mark, definitely connect with your administrator.
I answered the phone call one.
Yep. Yeah, the office spaces are available to make phone calls. Certainly last year, even at New Street when we were there, teachers were coming in to use like phones and things like that who were teaching online.
And if you're in Halton Hills, you can come into Georgetown High School and make calls if you want to.
Tammy?
Just to piggyback on Ali's comment about the expectations of submissions for online courses and asking, should we just say we can say everything is not, I don't want to say it, but let's say, okay, yeah, everything is due on the last day, no fault, no problem. But then progress reports like midterm and my 5th week, I have nothing marked because nothing's handed in. What would I put on the progress report at that point? If we're allowed,
you'd put exactly that. You don't
Okay.
have any evidence. You don't have any evidence of learning at this point. So that's a good thing to put on a progress report because it's reminding everybody that, hey, we're a quarter of the way through the class and you've handed in nothing.
okay,
Right. So yeah.
but totally fine because they can finish everything on the last
Yep.
day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not meant to scold them. It's just meant to remind them. right?
Okay.
That you've, and no, we also don't want everybody handing everything in on the, I think you'll find not all kids will do that, but there will be some that'll try to get everything done at the end. And typically they run out of time and then everything shuts down, right?
Yeah, I found that. I
But-
had one student last year that was taking physics and my grade 11 math at the same time, and he couldn't keep up with them at the same time. So he kept asking for extensions, and anyways, somewhat difficult situation. All right, thank you so much.
And just to piggyback on that, of course, just like in regular day school, you're going to be reaching out to those kids. If you're not getting a response back in a day from an email, or if within 24 hours, because of the condensed time frame of summer school, it's the expectation that you're going to be reaching out to parents. You're going to be, picking up the phone as well if emails aren't working. Just because, as you know, one day is like a week and a bit, so it's condensed.
Okay. MCR3U.
If anybody's online and is doing the MCR3U course, Esther Jenny, part of the HDSB, is looking to connect. They're doing the upgrade MCR course, so would definitely love to connect with you. Wonderful. And then will we need to do our own 18 plus contact forms? I'm sorry, Melissa, what do you mean by contact forms? You mean just in terms of having permission to touch base with families?
Yeah, correct. I know sometimes the schools have them done on their own. There was one summer that we had to do a Google form and send it to the kids. So I was just wondering if you need us to do anything like that, or if we'll be kind of notified which grade 12s we have permission to contact home and not.
I don't know the answer to that. We'll have to get back
Yeah.
to you. Do you know, Kate?
No, I don't.
I don't think we did. I think we just didn't contact over 18s last year.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I remember.
I think that to be true as well.
It's a time thing, right? Or you've got Ross as an answer. There we go.
Yeah, the For You form is built in the shell in the drive.
Okay. Just ask Ross. He's taught online for you since before the war, the Great War. Okay, team.
All right. Enjoy your last 2 days. Hopefully they go well, and exam return day goes well tomorrow, and Friday is full of good send-offs and good cheer before we land on Monday. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, thanks, everybody. Good seeing y'all.
Hey, we even got claps.
We got claps.
Yeah, we got cheers.
Yeah.
Great.
Last year we
Another
built
one.
in we built in the training last year too. I was looking at at last year's video.
Yeah.
Here, I'll
Thank you, Steve.